Good evening, everybody. This is Robin with another edition of Horror Pop After Midnight. My guest he's a stuntman, a stunt coordinator, and actor, Anthony Molinari. How do you say it, Molinari? I'm tongue-tied.
Yeah, very close. It's okay. You're not Italian. Anthony Molinari.
Yes, Al, thank you for coming on tonight.
Oh, my God. Thanks for having me, Robin.
Yeah, let's talk about your film. I just saw it on Stars, The Last Deal, and this is your first film that you're a lead in.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, this was the first time I jumped into the big boy seat, and it was an adventure I'll never forget.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And what was it like working with Jonathan on the film?
Jonathan's amazing. Came prepared every day, well organized. Like your fearless leader, always made you feel like you were safe. Always felt like you could approach him with any issues that you had. Very creative on the spot and really easy to communicate with.
Yeah, this film was based on a true story. So you played Vinny, who was a black market salesman for cannabis, and then California passed a state law where they were legalizing cannabis for recreational use, and your character was trying to get a license to sell, but you were having a hard time, so you had to go borrow some money from some evil bad men.
yeah. This is the story about Vincent and his journey on kind of discovering himself in this journey, which was pretty much was theoried around marijuana and the selling and the mix up of like the problems that it has today with distribution and banking. And it kind of brings you on this beautiful journey of him kind of going back to what he originally loved to do, which was just like, I think that's a great message you could send to the world of just like, follow your heart, do what you love to do, which is then if you're doing that, you're not really working a day in your life.
Yeah, I totally agree. And what was it like working with Sala Baker on the film? You guys had that great chemistry.
Oh, Sala was fantastic. We worked together in the past, which I think that helps out a lot when it comes to the chemistry. So it wasn't something that happened overnight. But yeah, Sala, amazing performer, amazing actor and stuntman.
Yeah, so were you Jonathan's choice to play the lead role in the film?
That's how it worked out.
Hey, I was just asking.
Yeah. Jonathan, I got a phone call from a mutual friend of ours, Carl Cefalio. Carl's an amazing stuntman, actor, second-year director, stunt coordinator. One that's definitely been a role model of mine, especially when he was one of those key artists back in the day that could act really well and do stunts really well. And there was a few of us, and there are a few of us. And he was one of them. And he introduced me to Jonathan because Jonathan had worked on some projects in the past. And Jonathan mentioned to him, I'm looking for an action actor. And my name was thrown on his table. Jonathan approached me, gave me the script, and the rest was history.
Yeah, your film's being shown everywhere. When I was talking to Jonathan, it's going to go over to the UK.
Yep, eventually it'll get over to the UK. I don't believe it's available over there yet, but soon. And we're excited to have it international like that.
So, do you think there will be a sequel to this with your character? How it ended, it seems like it could go either way.
Yeah, I guess there's only one way to find out, right? Let's wait and see.
Yes. You're also a stuntman and coordinator, too. You've done a lot of stunts for Marvel. How much fun is that? You know, I bet you're a big geek for doing Marvel.
That's awesome. No, actually, it's funny. I'm just the opposite. I wish I was. I mean, obviously, you can't grow up in the time that we grew up in and not be a Marvel fan to some degree. And yeah, ironically enough, I'm a huge Hulk guy. And I ended up doubling Bruce Banner throughout some of the Avengers, which was fun. But I mean, yeah, there was Marvel's amazing. Marvel's a lot of fun to work with. You're usually working with top performers, top storytellers, top actors. What more could you ask for? So yeah, Marvel's fantastic to work.
Did you get to meet Stan Lee?
No, I didn't.
So, what, you, you started off as a teacher first, and then what got you into, doing stunts?
Yeah, after going through college at Bowdoin College up in Brunswick, Maine, I basically found the love for teaching. So, like I mentioned before, I think as a younger kid, I was convinced, like, as long as I'm doing something I love, it won't be so hard to work, and I won't really be like truly working. So teaching was fantastic. I love teaching. I still do. And then my last year of teaching, one of the students just threw out the question, like, Mr. M, what did you want to be when you grew up? You asked us that question. I told him I wasn't really thinking about that. He goes, well, what if you could think about it? What would you be when you were 9? And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even know. Maybe, there's a TV show called The Fall Guy. It would be like that guy, Lee Majors. And jump off buildings, drive fast cars, get in fights, you know what I mean? And be a Hollywood stuntman. He goes, why didn't you do that? And it escalated into me coming out here, giving it a shot, doing background, getting in the union, and landing some stunt jobs.
What was your first stunt, and what was going through your head when you did your very first stunt?
Wow. This is appropriate for your show, but what was going through my head was like, don't fuck this up. And that's exactly what the stunt coordinator said right before I went, too. The first stunt was this gag where I was robbing a convenience store, and I bump into a customer, knock her into like a ho-ho stand, and then I'm running out of the store, and I have to shoot the glass doors, and they blow. And yeah, it was close to rush hour, and she's like, the reset is going to be really long, so don't screw this up. Like, all right. So that was my thought. Don't screw this up. Yeah.
What was the worst stunt you ever did and you wish you never did?
Oh, wow. I don't think there is one that I wish I never did. Every single one of them I learned something from, so I'm glad I did every single one up to date.
Hey, well, that's pretty good. So becoming the stuntman, how much preparation is it to take before you do a gag or stunt, and how does that all work out without getting hurt?
Yeah, that's a tricky question because it's not really something you go to school for, even though there are schools out there. Because a lot of this is you learn on set because it's just such unique stuff that we're doing, because every story that we're trying to tell is different. So you're constantly challenged with not knowing what exactly the stunt's going to be. So preparing for it is really challenging. But once you get it, you can rehearse it, which is really great. And a lot of times that changes anyways, too, right after rehearsal. So it's really about being able to create something and perform under stressful circumstances in a short amount of time and do it really well. So I think that's what really makes a great performer in our business and all areas when it comes to entertainment. But to me, training in the backyard, like we had a bunch of stunt guys who get trained in the backyard. We go to gymnastic classes, go to martial arts classes, climbing classes, driving classes. I mean, then you're playing with guys too, whether it be dirt bike riding, stuff like that. So everybody kind of has almost like a lifestyle, a hobby, a training premise too at some point. But a lot of times we learn a lot on set.
I bet. So, are you more of a practical stunt guy, or more like, the stunts added a little bit of the CGI to it?
Oh, man. The less I have to hit the ground, the better. You know what? Okay, so that's a trick question for me because, like, I don't want to see anyone get hurt. You know what I mean? So I think there's definitely a place for CGI when it comes down to just reducing the risk of somebody getting hurt, God forbid, killed. But at the same time, it's for me. I just like real stuff. It's easy. It's more believable. It feels right. It's just as far as like my mentality goes, how do I set this up so we can realistically do it in a way that we can do it over and over again? So.
That's pretty good. You did a lot of stunt doubling a lot too. You did a lot of stunt doubling for Matt Damon. What was it like working with Matt Damon and then being friends with him?
Oh, Matt's amazing. I mean, professional, fun guy. I mean, you can't ask much more for people to be like responsible, professional, like loving, like communicative, like just like a really just good person to be around, because we spend so much time on set. When you're around like good people, it makes such a big difference after, like, when you do like 15, 17-hour days, and you're doing like nights or whatever it might be, or stressful situations that are very stressful, and environments that are very like challenging. So yeah, having great people like Matt, especially as your leader of the ship, like, it's amazing. Yeah, he has a great way of looking at life and loving his family, and yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, you did a lot of stunts for him. You also did some stunts for him as Jason Bourne. How much fun did you have on the Bourne films?
Just to correct you, the Bourne film, I didn't do any stunts for him on, but I worked on a couple of them. Yeah, they were fun. It was just simple. Everything was in Vegas and driving gags, and playing cops and robbers. It was great.
I know. Let's talk about, you were in The Fighter too with Mark Wahlberg. What was it like getting the ring and boxing him?
Oh my God, it was like a dream come true. I mean, because it was in Lowell, Massachusetts, and Lowell, Massachusetts is only like 30 minutes away from where I grew up, from Worcester, Massachusetts. And growing up during the time of Mickey Ward, I mean, he was like our local hero. I mean, he was a man amongst men, and he was beautifully, like, in the ring, and how his whole story, and how he boxed, and him and Toro Gotti was some of the best fights I've ever witnessed in my life. And to see two powerful human beings like that hug each other at the end of a match and respect each other throughout the whole match, yet put everything on the line and try to kill each other at the same time. I mean, to me, that's the epitome of the sport. So having that, and having it in my backyard of my hometown, having my family be invited out to set, like as many as wanted to, because we were trying to fill the stadium, that was a dream come true. That was really magical for me. And Mark really created it. I mean, Ben Bray, I would have to say, really created it by him, like, bringing me out as the audition. He was the stunt coordinator, fight choreographer, until he released it over to Ray. But yeah, Ben Bray brought me out. Mark and I hit it off. He's from Dorchester, so we had that common factor of being Bostonians. And yeah, he's a professional, true professional, unbelievable athlete, excellent boxer. He's got heavy hands. It's Mark Wahlberg.
So does he hit pretty hard?
Oh my God. Yeah, like a mule.
So did he take your hits pretty good too?
Oh yeah, he's a tough kid, especially when you're doing that, because like a lot of times, like, all he takes is one slip up on either one of the dancers in the dance, and you're taking a shot to the face, you know what I mean, or an uppercut to the belly. So like, yeah, we both had our fair share of tags.
Oh, I bet you guys just had the best time in that ring. I bet you guys really wanted to keep at it, didn't you guys?
Yeah, it was fun.
So, when you're not doing stunt work or acting or doing films, what does Anthony enjoy doing? Do you have a passion that you like doing, or a hobby?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the first thing, my kids, that's like, if there's any, I mean, I pretty much run home to see the kids, and they're right now they're at still a great age, which is like 11, 10, 9, and 5. So like that really takes up a lot of my time. And then gardening, I love to just garden around the yard. Like, I've always kind of enjoyed the gardening aspect of it.
So gardening, what are you growing? Do you grow vegetables or plants, or?
Yeah, combination of both. Like, I mean. Yeah, I have a vegetable garden, with eggplants and peppers and tomatoes and zucchini and carrots and cucumbers. And then I got my rose gardens. Yeah, lots of fun gardens to take care of and maintain in the yard as well. So it's a lot of work. It's never done. That's for sure.
I bet it's very peaceful too. It clears your mind.
Absolutely, getting in nature, getting grounded. It's a really zenful place.
So, do you watch horror films? Do you like any horror films?
Oh yeah, love horror films. I think about the younger ones when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Poltergeist was always one that kind of set the tone. That was a scary one. But yeah, love horror films.
Yeah, the one horror film that got me really scared, that got me into horror films, was the original Exorcist. Linda Blair scared the living tar out of me. I couldn't sleep for a week. I had to have my light in my room on.
Oh my God, that one was so scary. So scary. The makeup and the mouth and the eye, yeah. It's lasting impression in your brain you'll never forget.
No, it doesn't. And then the next film I got into was the original Halloween and Phantasm. The tall man in Phantasm always scared the living tar out of me.
Yes, I mean, Freddy Krueger did it for me. Like, just something that, like, just the fact that you can get in my dream, like in my dreams, that was scary, especially when you're going to sleep at night.
Oh, yeah, I bet you Robert Englund probably scared the living dickens out of you while you're sleeping. Be lucky you weren't sleeping in the waterbed like when Johnny Depp did in the first film. Having all that blood splurting up.
Oh, man, brutal.
Yeah, also you worked with Christopher Nolan on The Dark Knight Rises. What was it like to do the choreography and the stunt work on Batman?
Oh yeah, rigorous. Really, really educational, to be honest with you. Like, because a lot of times what we'll do is we'll just go through it and get it done, and after we get it done, he'll come and watch it and critique it, and that was the night of, and it was just so fascinating to watch him just break it down and create a much more dynamic, realistic fight, which was really, like I said, to be able to do it in such a short amount of time, to see that and correct it and create it and make it even better than what it once was really nice.
So did you play a lot of different characters in the film? Doing the stunts?
Batman one? No, just one. It was just one rooftop fight. So we probably rehearsed it for a couple of weeks, if not a month, and then went and shot this rooftop fight with, I think, Bane came out during that fight. And we were part of the Bane fighting game. We were just all going after Christian Bale.
That's pretty good, too. And then you were also in a favorite show of mine, but it finally ended. How much fun did you have on that, Barry?
Oh, Barry was fantastic. I mean, the dream set, you know what I mean? Like Bill Hader and crew. Oh my gosh, like so fun, so exciting, and the content turns out so great. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better recipe than over there.
Yeah, I love that show. The show's just, I love the dark humor in it and all the, action. I mean, it had a lot of good fighting choreography in there too, which made Barry look, phenomenal. And like I said, I was just sad it ended.
Yeah, Wade Allen. I mean, Wade Allen was a stunt coordinator. He's a genius, man. Like, some of the stuff that those guys created. And he's such a resource. I mean, behind the scenes, he really comes up with, like, some amazing resources and ideas. So that was a really special show.
So, what's your thoughts on the writer's strike going on right now? Do you think they're going to finally settle with the studios, or do you think it's going to go all the way till the end of the year?
If I was to guess, I would say they're going to settle. I mean, but I think whatever happens. We're just going to, like, stick together. I mean, to me, it's all about just sticking together. That's all you got to do. As a whole, we just stick together. We don't, like, divide. So, like, and we hope for the best. But I believe, if you ask me right now, I think they're going to settle.
I hope so too, because I'm getting tired of seeing all this reality TV crap. I want some good movies, some good TV shows, my favorite shows back. I don't want to sit like a whole season of stupid, ridiculous I can't stand reality TV.
I agree.
I don't. It drives me at the wall. It's like, where did he come up with this stupid stuff? But people like watching that stuff, and I'm like shaking and face palming myself, going, why?
Just follow the money.
That's right, and that's why. Since the writer's strike and everything's going on, do you think indie films are getting more popular now? Because it seems like more and more people are watching indie films.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, at least they're getting more popular in demand. Like as far as us making them right now, I mean, there's I think there's almost 1,000 requests for an interim agreement over at SAG that they're just desperately trying to get through to approve, so that all these indie films can go and just hit the pavement, get going, go into pre-production, start filming.
Yeah, I hope so too. I'm a strong supporter of independent filming. I mean, those guys really put their heart and soul into their films. I mean, you don't get like the big budget, like, you know, the big studios, but some of these guys really go out of their way to try to make the best film they can.
Oh, that's what it's all about. I mean, well, for me, my experience is like, I'll take the indie world over the really expensive one, because it's just, there's so much more of a connection between the crew, the cast, and the story. That's my experience.
I think so too. So when the strike's over, are there any projects you're going to be working on?
Oh yeah. I don't know them right now, but yep, there'll be a lot of projects. It'll come out of the gates hot and fast.
Do you see yourself ever writing a script and doing an independent film yourself?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, I think when you're pursuing stuff that you're passionate about, that's one of the things that right now, I just passionately want to create and tell stories that move people. And it doesn't even have to move them in a positive direction. As long as it's moving somewhere, just if it moves you, then I feel like that's a beautiful thing, to move people in a direction that gets them going. So, I definitely want to do movies, film, write, produce, direct, act. Yeah, true filmmaker.
I can see you being a cinematographer.
I love the camera. The camera and I are sexy. I love the camera.
Yeah, you'd be perfect for that, since you've done a lot of coordinating, like stunts, and I can see you working behind a camera, like shooting certain angles and certain scenes, you know, of everything. I can see you being a film director. I mean, it's going to happen. I know it will.
Absolutely.
So, where can everybody find you on social media to see what you're doing next?
That's a good question. I mean, I'm not really good at that, but I mean, I would say check out IMDb. I mean, that's probably the best thing to keep up to date with me. But otherwise, yeah, I'm not really on anything as of right now.
Hey, that's smart, man. It keeps your mind clear. You don't have to, worry about all the crazy stuff on social media. You just do your filmmaking, your stunts, and just post it. And then after that, you're done. You don't have to worry about it. That's a smart man.
Yeah. Throw the kids in the gardening in there, my wife, and it's a package deal.
So, what do your kids think about you? Have they ever seen you do any of your stunts?
I don't think they've seen me perform my stunts live. They've seen them on film, but no, they haven't. They've been down to set, but they've never witnessed me doing a stunt.
Okay. So what would you do if, like, when your kids get all grown up and then one of them came up to you and wanted to follow your career, like being a stunt performer or actor?
Yeah, I support it. I mean, like, support it, but also guide them in the best direction that I know based off of the information I know. Because the second I tell them no or her no, they're going to do exactly the opposite.
Hey, I totally agree. Anthony, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story.
I appreciate the time, Robin. I really do. Thank you for having the show up and running, and thank you for inviting me on.
And can you tell Jonathan thank you for me too? He's a cool dude.
Yeah, I will. Mr. Salemi's the best. I'll make sure I relay the message.
All right. Thank you so much.